This is Not Funny. I am your host, Sid Senex. And as always, I am joined by my buddies of the Coconut Crew. We got Finley.
He's finally back, and about time too. And this time, he hates the Jews.
There we go.
And even though I always introduce him first, I had to switch it up. We also are joined by PowderKeg.
I just want to say that Sydney had no idea what the fuck the Triforce was like 5 minutes ago.
I had no fucking idea.
And now he's starting the show with it, thinking he's Mr. fucking Zelda lore. Get out of here.
No, dude, because here's the thing. I was never a huge Zelda nigga like you were. Like, I played the games, but I never really retained all that much information.
Did you play the one for N64? Did you play Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, I played Ocarina of Time when I was like fucking 8 years old.
Yeah, I played when I was pretty young too. Like, that's a big part of the fucking plot. All right.
That's like a big part of your life. That doesn't mean, like,
dude, I was scamming niggas with Ocarina of Time shit because I was to Ben.
How do you scam people with that?
Okay, so here's what I did. This isn't a very interesting story, but it doesn't matter. I had a Game Shark, and so what I would do is there was some fucking Game Sharks come with like a hex editor. So what you could do is you could like change the color of Link's tunic permanently, and I would make him gold. And everyone's like, "How did you get the gold tunic?" And I was like, "Oh, give me $20 and I can get it for you." And
holy
like
shit.
This worked on like 4 people. So fuck yeah.
It's so dumb.
Thank you, Ocarina of Time and Game Shark.
What the fuck would you even spend that money on when you were that young? Who needs $80 for Ocarina of Time?
More video games, all right?
I guess so. Tech Deck, yeah, black Tech Decks. Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit. Hey.
So, one of our buddies, Garden, he was talking about Tech Deck dudes. Now, a lot of people remember Tech Deck. I remember Tech Deck. But, like, yeah. Tech Deck dudes were a thing that came out later, and they were basically like, I guess you could call them, like, anthropomorphic thumbs.
Yeah,
they were personified thumbs that like wore little shoes and stuff, and
they were like those jumping like bean things.
Yeah, so it's like a fleshy mound, but again, because we have to be diverse, there was black Tech Deck dudes, so it just looks like a piece of poop, like wearing shoes. And like a hat and like have like so they literally looks like little poops riding skateboards with like angry faces and shit. It's fucking hilarious. Go and Google if you haven't seen this before. Google black Tech Deck dudes.
Black.
Someone might see that in your history and be like, that's a little weird. I don't want to know what that means, but it's worth it. All right, it's worth it.
I feel like it's pretty obvious. Like black Tech Deck dudes. How many things could that fucking be?
Black Tech Deck dudes? I don't know. What if you're like a stupid like normie girl and you're just like,
if you like accidentally type like black Tech Dick dudes, then you're gonna come up with like Black Accelerate's Twitter account.
Actually do that and see what happens.
Yeah,
do that right
okay.
Now and see what happens. Yeah.
Oh, yikes. PowderKeg. Google is getting a little risque here.
I'm good. My laptop is shit, so I'm probably going to robot this whole time.
Because you're Googling?
Dude, yeah. And it uses up RAM, which slows down my Discord.
Okay.
Black Tech Dick dudes. I don't know if
this is going to be disgusting.
It's fine.
This is the slowest segment in the world. Just listening to you slowly Google black Tech Dick dudes.
It's trying to correct me, and it's like, do you mean deck? Nope. That's not what I was. First results: big dick Dominicans from Washington Heights. Pornhub.com.
Ew.
Extreme huge black pumped dick. And then the third result is from debate.org. Are black men's penises bigger than white men? And then right after that, donkey dick black dude.
We can dispel that myth right now. If you look at the averages, It's actually not, but they just like, it's almost like racist that they only cast like big dick black dudes in porn because they want to like perpetuate this.
Well,
like,
this
no,
like
you a little big nigga, get your ass out of here.
You know,
Get your little big nigga having ass out of here.
You know, it sounds like a coat pose, but there are like some of those ones that are like extreme elephant trunk dicks. Like those are prosthetics. And like there are like times when you can kind of see, you know, you've dispelled the magic of the cinema when you catch a you catch a glimpse of their
movie
real
magic
of their real tiny tech dick dude under the prosthetic.
The prosthetic just like comes off in the woman in the middle of the thing, and they're just standing there with a little dick.
But actually, statistically, the most well endowed are Arabs and Italians. Believe it or not.
Arabs and Italians. What's the difference?
Exactly.
Owned.
Got them. Got them.
All you fucking Pete's. And anyways, speaking of black guys, we've got a little treat for us, not for you. I'm sorry if the audience thinks when I said we have a little treat for you. No, not for you, for us. We're drinking malt liquor tonight. At least me and Finley are. Finley's drinking Steel Reserve.
Yeah.
And then I am drinking a flat warm half bottle of Hurricane malt liquor from 2 days ago. So I'm going to have a sip of that and see how good that is right now.
It's going to be disgusting.
Yeah, how's the Hurricane?
Ooh, not good.
No.
Bad. I'm going to drink it all though.
Yeah, well, you fucking better, dude. Who leaves half a 40 in the Did you even have it in the fridge? Like, why is it warm?
Because it was next to my computer, and because I was drinking it and surfing the
web. When did you open that thing?
What do you mean? I was just you just drink. No, what's wrong with a dude just drinking beer and looking at YouTube?
It's not beer.
There's nothing wrong with it, but why did you leave it there? Like, when did you do that?
Because you judge me.
It's fucking weird, dude. Like, I would never just leave half a beer that I wouldn't pour down the sink.
That's wasting money. Are you kidding?
I finish my beers before I go to bed, even if I'm about to pass out.
Dude, it's a 40, bro. That's like just 20 ounces is half a bottle.
Yeah.
He's rich enough.
Yeah. I'm not made of money, okay?
Yeah, well, maybe
I'm gonna drink more just to spite you. Just in kind of
you
myself.
better fucking drink it at this point, you know? Like, that would be a huge waste if you just let all that go. But we can. Oh, well, first, before we leave the topic of malt liquor, you mentioned before the show that E40 had his own brand of malt liquor. That's fucking blackest thing in the world, dude. Just a rapper making his own brand of fucking malt liquor.
It's really not an enjoyable experience. I didn't even know who E40 was because I'm not a rap guy.
We used to record like songs with Eminem all the time because it was like Eminem. I think their group was called like D40. He just went with the next letter. And I could be totally wrong about this, but I'm pretty confident that's the case.
The logic checks out though. So
yeah,
no, because for some reason this was the only malt liquor that they used to sell at Bevmo. I don't know if that's like an international thing or not. Beverages and More. And
no, I never have had that. I've never been there.
Oh, and I went with some friends and I was like, what is this? And it's like, oh, like it's E40 made malt liquor. I was like, what the fuck is E40? It's like, oh, it's like a rapper. And I was like, that's hilarious. Of course I'm buying this. And, it's supposed to be honey flavored, which I think, but it tastes kind of like dirt. But, it is fucking, it will fuck your night up, dude. It's 10% malt liquor. So it's
pretty fucking strong.
It
comes in a gold can, gold bottle.
Yeah, it's very fancy. It's very fancy.
It's honey. It's got that honey flavor. It's like ghetto mead, nigga.
Yeah, ghetto mead. just because rappers, they do things big, and I just imagine like fucking being in that boardroom. You're like, yo, I want the bottle gold. I want it with honey, and they're just like, why? And he's like, because I get the honeys and the gold, nigga.
So dumb.
It's so dumb. Like that's a thing that they would say.
Why don't they invite him into the
they would say?
Well, also, first of all, I think it's funny that you think malt liquor companies have a boardroom. Second of all, that they would like invite this guy in.
It's his malt liquor.
Yeah, but at the same time, they would like buy his name, the rights to his name, and then use him to sell the shit in the same way that Colt 45 used Billy D. Except that Colt 45 wasn't called Billy D, but that was the best part of Colt 45. I've said it 1,000 times, is when Billy D was on the inside of the label. That was when I was drinking Colt 45.
They still had him on a label when you were drinking it?
Yeah, that was like, 10 years ago now? About 10 years ago. They
stopped doing that in like the 80s. But no, the advertisements from the 80s were fucking hilarious because it had like Billy D like giving a woman a Colt 45. The tagline was Colt 45 works every time. And it's like, what are you insinuating here? Like, like he's basically admitting to like, he's going to get this woman drunk and fuck her.
Well, it's like in that movie, Undercover Brother, when he used Billy D to sell the chicken. Just Billy D is only used for like stereotypical racist sales.
Dude, I buy Billy D chicken.
Speaking of the Colt 45, I got one right here. I got a 24 ounce right here.
Should I crack that fucker open?
24 ounce of Colt 45. I didn't even know they made those.
What?
I didn't even know they made 24 ounces of. I thought they were a can.
It's a tall boy.
That's what they had at That's just what they had at Ralph's, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can get tall boys of almost any malt liquor. They even have tall boys of E40. Check it out. But I will say this for any of the listeners that care about any of this.
Yeah, this is the most exciting start to a show we're ever gonna fucking have. So enjoy this shit.
But E40 is a rarity now. It's like it's like striking gold. Like it's glittering. It's a glittering exterior. So if any of you guys out there like know where we can get this, because I can't find it anymore, but I know it's out there. Let us know.
We're going to get a PO box just for you guys to mail us.
I have a PO
full of E40.
I have a PO box. If you want to send me, I'll give it out next episode because I don't know. I forget what the number is right now. I don't have it on me. But if anyone out there wants to send me some E40 to my PO box, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll endorse that. I'll endorse people sending you malt liquor through the mail.
Yeah, I think you can order it off BevMo.
No, it's they're out of stock. I checked.
Can you even mail liquor or booze?
Yeah.
No, because you'd think like that would require an ID on both ends. Because otherwise you could just be mailing minors booze all the time.
Zoomers don't know how to use the mail, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Holy shit, that's right. Like nobody uses the mail anymore. I don't even get my bill through the mail.
The Amazon drones are going to start dropping 40s on people.
Well, they have those websites where you can like order booze off the internet, but you have to put in your license number. Like you have to put in a valid ID.
That might be how it works. I don't know. I've never ordered booze off the internet before. Oof. But I'll tell you this right now. If Amazon drones start delivering beer, I am not for the Amazon drones. I'm not for Shutterbug time. We can get into that later. I'm not for Shutterbug time, but I will make an exception to have a drone bring me a fucking 40. All right, I'll totally.
Dude, that fucking video that came out this week of like the Amazon drones flying out of the Amazon blimp, like a fucking. That thing was insane, dude.
It's creepy,
like some Alien Hive movie.
Yeah,
but I got some news for you guys. That video is all CG. That wasn't real.
No way. Are you kidding me?
No, yeah. It was like a Japanese Twitter account like came out and showed like the making of the video and the files for it. So it was just a really
they fucking got my ass, dude.
If they start delivering 40s by drone, I'm gonna buy a shotgun.
Just shooting drones out of the sky.
Getting my 40.
Yeah.
Stealing my 40 from the drone.
Could you imagine how ridiculous that would look? Like a claw just holding a bottle of like a 40-ounce bottle of beer flying over your head.
Oh, that'd be awesome. What are you talking about?
You'd have to have like a rifle to shoot that thing without bringing the bottle down with it. Otherwise, the bottle's just going to break and shatter. And it's literally going to be raining malt liquor.
Ooh, I like that. I like that timeline. That sounds great.
I'll just
all over the hood. They're just making it rain malt liquor.
I'll make like a gun with a toilet plunger in it and like shoot it at the thing. It'll be able to grab it.
Darkwing Duck.
Like a bow and arrow with a fucking toilet plunger on the other end with a rope, and you just tug it down.
Dude, but no, I saw a video earlier of this guy who taught, he's a falconer, and he taught his falcon to take down drones like gently. And
gently?
So,
how can a falcon do anything gently?
I think it was gentle. Like, kind of
like he just kind of like went up and just like knocked just basically grabbed it with its falcon claws and then just like brought it down to the ground. And I'm just thinking like, this is what the new piracy is going to be. Is this going to be fucking falconers?
What the fuck were you looking up that this came up in the results? What are you watching?
I think falconing is cool.
You watch falconing videos in your
sometimes I do. It's cool. But all I'm saying is like, is that what like 2030 is going to be like? Like internet pirates are going to be falconers? Like that's a cool future. All right, that's kind of dope.
You're gonna be like fucking Luke Wilson in that movie, The Royal Tenenbaums, just on your roof, like sending the falcon up.
I've never seen the movie, but that sounds cool.
That's one of Wes Anderson's better movies, honestly. It was actually good. Gene Hackman, man. That guy's a great.
You also think Nicolas Cage is great, so
well, he is great, and you can go fuck yourself. So he's fantastic.
Dude, National Treasure. That's all I gotta say.
Dude, he's done other movies. And even still, like National Treasure. Lord of War was bad. No, National Treasure is enjoyable for the funny stuff. Lord of War just sucked ass.
Yeah, because
National Treasure was funny.
No, not because of it. Because the
National Treasure was like
story.
Like Luke Cage, Nicolas Cage doing like the fucking like the faux pretending to come to a conclusion where he'd be like labu
no
labule. Like it was the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen, bro.
No, dude, remember when he sticks his hand in the hole and he's like, and he pulls it out. Everyone freaks out and he pulls out and like, I'm fine, I was kidding. It was so funny.
It's just a joke, okay? It's just a joke. Dude, it's fucking awesome.
Dude, that movie had some ridiculous. It felt like. Do you guys ever remember those like those old Japanese like room games that were like for your browser and you'd have to like figure out how to escape the room? And
maybe
the puzzles were always like some ridiculous shit that could never happen. There's like a scene in National Treasure where he like finds a brick and like within a brick in like the Lincoln Memorial, there's like special Ben Franklin glasses that let him see clues. What the fuck is this?
Just Russian nesting bricks containing Ben Franklin's glasses. That's the most retarded shit I've ever heard in my life.
It was like magic Ben Franklin glasses.
It's like
special clues.
It's like Transformers glasses. What you see. Oh my god.
If they were actual Ben Franklin glasses, they would just like see through women's clothes. Just like looking at fucking 1700s hairy pussies.
Ooh. Yikes. Oh, are we going to go back to that?
No, we're not going to go back to that. In fact, before we get too far away from black people, I'll talk about a movie
I'm real far from black people right now.
I'm real far from black people. Okay, you literally just said.
He's like looking at some girl who's like,
bleep that? I feel like I should bleep.
Bush. Hello, President Bush.
That was what they called. Oh wait, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president. Fuck.
Yeah, retard.
But if he was a president, he would have been President Bush.
Well, nobody shaved their pubes back then. Everybody would have been.
See, it's Bush. Oh, would you look at that? It's Bush Senior and Bush Junior.
That's what you call like your son's pubes when they first grow up. Bush Jr. I feel like it's weird to name your son's pubes. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Fair.
I don't like that. But yeah, we'll go back to black people. But I watched this movie tonight. It's an HBO movie that just came out, and it was called Native Son. And apparently it's based on a book and it's like the story's supposed to be set in the 1930s. But the movie is not at all. It's set in modern day. And it's about this black kid, but he's not your typical black kid. He's a punk rocker. He loves the Bad Brains, and he loves vinyl and cassette tapes, and he wears a leather jacket with crazy writing all over it and a pentagram necklace.
Ew. Literally like no black kid ever.
Well, the whole story is like he's supposed to be the smartest kid in the hood, and he's like a delivery boy for letters in the beginning, like a bike career, and then his mom, who's a paralegal, like, and I'm going to totally spoil the movie, by the way. So I don't think anybody's going to want to watch Native Son, but it's ruined for you. Get ready. But yeah, so his mom is a paralegal, and she gets him a job as a driver for like a rich white family. And, it starts off, and they've got a young daughter, and it's one of those movies that's like lampooning white liberals for thinking that they like know black people and care about black people.
Sure, yeah.
And which is a great genre, by the way. I think it's hilarious that all these white people will watch these movies just like shitting all over them, and like particularly liberal white people. And they'll just be like, "Oh, that's so true. That's so right. That's not me, but that's so true." Like, what an accurate depiction. Like
that reminds me of something I'll bring up later.
Okay. But yeah, like the daughter's talking, like he's at the job interview, and he just gets the job, and the daughter walks into the kitchen and she starts talking about politics, and she's like asking him questions, and he's just so reluctant to answer any of them because he just doesn't give a fuck. And she's like, "You're so outraged, aren't you? You know, I get having a 9-to-5 job. You can't go to all these protests." It's like, first of all, this guy's a bike career. And there's like scenes of him just standing in the park in the middle of the day. Like, this guy did not have a 9-to-5 job. He just doesn't care about your shitty politics, lady. And she's talking about how her dad hates to hear her talk about politics. And there's one scene where she calls him like an evil capitalist. Which is ridiculous.
When did you say this movie takes place?
This movie takes place in the modern day because she talks about like Occupy and the People's Freedom Movement, which I guess is, but like it's set in like present day Chicago from the looks of it.
Okay.
But yeah, right. So then like he gets the job as the driver, and of course the white girl is like infatuated, this rich white girl who's got like a shitty California boyfriend who's like all into political movements, and he's like trying to start the revolution. And she gets this black guy in her life, and she obviously wants to fuck him immediately, which is hilarious. And
right.
So they start like going to parties together. And he's literally just the worst employee in the world. Like they're trying to paint him as like, "Oh, look at this brilliant young man." And he's just like selling her drugs and drunk driving their nice car all around town. Like,
drunk driving his bike.
No, he's going to give him a nice ID to drive her in. And, cause like the old driver, the other black guy. Oh, and by the way, the main character's name is Bigger, which is hilarious.
Okay, I mean, we laugh because we get why that's funny. What is the explanation for this in the?
There's no explanation for this. It's just like black people name their kids Bigger, which they probably do. There's probably a black guy out there named Bigger. It's so because like half the time when they call him Bigger, it just totally sounds like they're calling him the N-word.
Somebody has to be having a fuck at this. Somebody.
Well, the book was written a long time. I know nothing about the book, but I assume it's like a Driving Miss Daisy, but with a black guy is the basis of the book.
Right.
And I think it came out a long time ago. The book might have been set in the 30s, but like the description on my TV said, "A coming-of-age tale of a black man in Chicago in the 1930s." And the movie it's totally not set in the 1930s. He's driving around like modern cars. But yeah, he's like doing drugs with this girl. He's drinking and driving their nice car, and he's supposed to be the responsible good guy,
genius.
Like one of his friends is trying to convince him to rob a store in the beginning of the movie. It's like, I don't want to do any of that stereotypical black shit. And then his friend calls him a pussy, and he's like, all right, I'll rob any place, anytime then, motherfucker.
That's bigger with a hard R, don't you get it.
Well, then they call him Big, and like he's like, my friends call me Big. And at the job interview, the guy's like, oh, after Biggie Smalls? And he's like, nah, man, it's just because my name's shortened. Like, and then he's like, oh, well, good. And I don't know fucking Biggie Smalls' real name, but he's like, that guy met a rather unfortunate end. And it's like this old white guy knows about Big. What the fuck? It's so dumb. But yeah, I'll get to the point. So ultimately, after like tons of partying with the girl, one night he like gives her ecstasy, and he like drives her home while he's also on ecstasy, by the way. And she's like cheating on her boyfriend in front of him at the party. And the boyfriend like walks up and shoves the guy. And then he shoves her, and the black kid, Bigger, runs in to save the damsel in distress. Which, like, first of all, he doesn't even say that, like, you were literally cheating on him in front of your fiance, who she doesn't even want to tell her dad she's engaged to. Oh, fuck. I keep forgetting like hilarious details of this movie, so I'm going to be jumping around a lot. But there's a scene where he like picks her up from one of the boyfriend's political meetings, and they're like, yeah, let's go to this soul food joint on the south side. Let's get some real food. And the black kid's like, I don't think you want to go there. I don't think you want to do this. Which is awesome. But yeah, then he gets her in the car, he drives her home, and he puts her inside, and he's supposed to use like a separate staircase. And it's a subplot of the film, but the house is
colored
heated.
Staircase.
Yeah. Well, it's for the staff. Like there's a white German woman who also is like the housekeeper, and she works there as well. And so she's like telling him all this because he moves into the big house, which one of his friends literally like starts doing slave metaphors. It was like, you house nigga now, you living in the big house. Like, so yeah, he like gets her in the car. He's driving home on ecstasy, and he gets her home, and he gets her inside, and he goes up to her room, and then he hears her outside. So she's like in her bra and panties doing cartwheels on the grass, just yelling like a fucking retard. Well, that's what
she's on ecstasy.
Dumb white girls do on ecstasy.
Yeah. No, okay.
So it's like not entirely
that.
accurate.
Totally checks out. No, I forgot about that.
I bet they like take off their clothes and climb a tree or something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
What a bunch of retards.
Yeah, who would do that?
Who would fucking do that? I bet she like climbed in a tree and like doxed herself. And then
she's
her
like, this is the name of my old podcast.
No.
This is the name of my old podcast.
You need something stronger than ecstasy to do that, I think.
But yeah, so, this is kind of an important detail in the movie, but the mom of this daughter is blind. So like he goes and he scoops her up outside and he like drags her up to her room through the front staircase, which is super risky. And so he's like trying to quiet her down the whole time. She's being loud as fuck, like being really obnoxious. And so finally he gets her into her room, and she's like trying to fuck him. She's like in her bra and panties, like trying to catch him in between her legs. He's like, lay down for me. Just go to bed. You're going to get me fired from my job. I can't lose this job. And pretty much go to bed, bitch. And so finally he like gets her to lay down, and her mom wakes up and starts like walking down the hallway. And in a moment of panic, he decides to shut her up. He's going to put a pillow over her face. Uh-oh. So he literally suffocates this bitch to death. Trying to prevent the mom from like finding out that she brought him into her bedroom and thinking that they're fucking. And he's like turning her. He's rejecting her. Oh my God. Like not having sex with her because he's loyal to Bessie, which is his black girlfriend.
As some Indian watching the movie gets a huge boner.
Yeah.
We can touch on that later.
Okay, yeah, no. In fact, if you want to go ahead and interject that, I can finish this up.
No, I was just because a while ago, we kind of had this running joke within our group that the most, and again, don't take this seriously, I'm not endorsing porn, but the most wholesome porn is girls pillow humping with the clothes on. So me and some buddies were trying to, we were looking for pillow humping videos for research purposes. And, we accidentally stumbled upon like something very bizarre, which is that there are like thousands of like Indian like videos on porn sites that are like just a guy smothering. There's nothing even sexual about it. There's nothing sexual about it. It's just like pillow smothering videos. Yeah, just pillow smothering videos. And like, it's just like, you just go to, like, it's fucking crazy, and they're all Indians. It's
like how to honor killing after your daughter is raped.
It was like, we stumbled upon something like mysterious, because, I mean, first of all, like, I get it. I get that, like, oh, there's some people that are into like pillow smothering thing, but like,
how? No, I don't get that.
Dude, fucking, we talked about Justin RPG last fucking episode, okay? People are into weird shit, but the fact that it was all like fucking Indian people with like Hindu video titles, I was like, what the fuck? So that's weird. That's a weird thing about the internet. Indian guys apparently really into like smothering women.
Really into killing women.
With their girlfriends?
Yeah, their girlfriend.
I'm no match for Pajit.
You are no match for pillow.
Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention this, but we'll dive back into the movie. I'm almost done. And so like part of the thing is that they live in like an old mansion. So the house is heated by like a coal fireplace in the basement. So like part of his job is like shoveling coal into the furnace. And so he kills her, and he's like, oh shit, what the fuck have I done? Oh no. And so his first instinct is to drag this bitch's body through the house while he's doing some monologue about how all these people is blind. I'm the only one that can see, except maybe I'm blind too. So like he drags her down into the basement, and he fucking throws her in the coal.
Hold the fucking. This is totally made by someone that's racist. The main character's
made by black people.
No, hold on. The main character's name is Bigger, and a white girl dies in a coal burner. Like, come on. Is nobody else seeing this?
She literally paid the toll. Like,
he literally paid the toll. She literally death by coal burning. Like, what the fuck? This is totally someone having a laugh somewhere.
Probably, dude. But yeah, it's directed by a black guy. It's based on a book written by a black guy. So I don't know. It's kind of like confusing the messaging here. Yeah, it's written and directed by Jesse Lee Peters.
And then they were doing drugs, and they were supposed to be doing that. So then she died in a fire.
So he burned her corpse.
He burned her. Uh-oh.
Hola. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, so he burns her body in a coal furnace, and like he can't even fit her whole body in. So there's a scene where like just her head is poking out of this fucking furnace while he's burning her body, which also like then he's gonna have to clean up bones and shit. And like I get he's the only one that's supposed to be cleaning the furnace. But then he's lying to everybody, and because it's like a liberal white family, they're like, no way the black driver did it.
I thought this was going to be like a cute black inspirational story like Aquila and the Bee. Bitches dying. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, did the bones not get burned?
Well, they did. So, like, apparently he disposes of the body correctly, and he lies to the family. He says he doesn't do it. He said he brought the girl home.
How many minutes did it take to fully clean up the body?
I knew this was coming.
They don't say. It's like a time lapse scene where then he's up in his room and in the mansion. He's got like his hands on his head. He's like, "What the fuck have I done?"
No, and maybe this guy isn't racist though, because if he was racist, he'd probably make it take a long time. He'd make it take like 2 hours to fully cremate this. Oh man, this taking a long time, man.
He's just pacing for 2.5 hours.
You won't believe what we were just fucking around, and then Hitler came, and I was like, shit. And then he burned her.
Well, the trailer of the movie, like I saw the trailer and it made me kind of curious, and also I was just bored, so I thought I'd watch it. But in the trailer, it makes it look like they're framing the black guy. And it's going to be like one of the stories where they're like, oh, look, everybody want to blame the black man. But then it's like, actually, he kills the white girl.
On accident.
It was an accident because like he thought she was alive, but she's like clearly trying to push him off as she's suffocating to death. And he's just on ecstasy and trying not to get fired from his job. So he just pushes the pillow down harder. And he's like trying to wake her up afterwards. And she's just obviously dead.
Do you have to hold the pillow down after they pass out to make them suffocate?
Well, he did, dude. He had that pillow over this bitch's face for like well over a minute.
Hold on, let me tell you how it is done.
It was kind of a long scene. Like you knew that she was going to die when you were watching it. There was just no way that wasn't going to happen. And so, yeah, he lies to everybody. He says he didn't do it. Da, da, da. And he ends up like kind of getting found out because one of her earrings fell underneath the furnace. And the German house lady finds it after he's like run away and quit the job. Yeah, she's German. She finds the earring and she's like horrified. And so she tells everybody. And so he goes on the run. And he's like telling his girlfriend he didn't do it. He's telling the girl's boyfriend, whose name was Jan. The girl's boyfriend's name was Jan. Like, what the fuck? Everybody in this movie had weird ass names. Janus? Bessie, Jan, Bigger. Like, what the fuck? But, yeah, so then, like, towards the end, he meets up with the boyfriend. He's like, oh, I thought you called the cops on me. And the guy's like, oh, you knew I would never do that, man. I don't want to fuck with the cops and a black guy. You didn't do it. And I know such good lawyers and all this shit. And, so he, like, goes on the run and he takes his girlfriend into, like, some abandoned building. And, she eventually starts to think that he did it. And so they wake up there the next day and, he like has a handgun on him through the whole movie, like carries a revolver in his leather jacket. And so she takes the gun and like throws it out the window of this abandoned building. People, passersby, like notice this. So they call the cops. And then the guy just kind of like gives in and it ends with him committing suicide by cop. And it's supposed to be like this tragedy. And don't get me wrong, like this white bitch, she had it coming, man. Like she was fucking up big time. She was screwing this dude over. But then, like, he kills her and he becomes an asshole. So, like, it's not at all what I thought it was going to be, where they frame the black man. Which
my buddies in high school used to choke each other out all the time. Hundreds of times,
man. Yeah, Bigger and I, we used to choke each other. So Bigger thought he knew the time frame it would take for a person to die, but he fucked up the equation. But yeah, man, it was a weird movie. Kind of entertaining. I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was a weird one, but like I said, I had fun watching it. It was not what I expected.
Yeah, that had some twists and turns. I was really expecting something a little more wholesome, especially since the description said it took place in the 1930s, and then totally wasn't.
Not at all the 1930s.
Yeah,
Not even a little bit.
What's up with that?
But yeah, where do we want to go from there?
Well, what I was going to touch on is, and this is just something that I'm going to recommend, because I usually don't like recommend shit too often. This whole like kind of poking fun at these leftists, these white leftists that kind of what do they call it? The bigotry of low expectations. You know?
Yeah, the soft bigotry of low expectations.
Right. And there was this series. It was an animated series by Mike Judge a couple years back called The Good Family. And it was actually pretty fucking good. And it, I mean, like the name. But the whole thing is that it was about like this white liberal family that was just like, their lives were crippled by the fact that they like had to treat every minority like a fucking child. And it was fucking and like there's a character that's like their son. He's adopted, but he's white, because like the stories that they wanted to adopt like an African child, but then like they send them a white South African baby, but they still like went with it and like named him Ubuntu, and like he wore like African clothes and shit. Like like the show is actually pretty fucking funny, and it got canceled because critics were like, oh, like, it's trying to paint a message that, white liberals are out of touch with how ridiculous it seems. But this is so over the top. This is so and it's like, it's not over the top at all. Like the fact that you're writing a review because you can't be self-aware enough to understand like how fucking ridiculous you come off proves that like this show is totally like nailing down your archetype 100%, and you're just angry that this show fucking nails down like the Californian like white upper class family like to a fucking T. So it's called The Good Family, good with an E. It's by Mike Judge. I think they only did one season. It's actually pretty fucking funny. So
this is like a trend ever since Get Out, where like black people make movies making fun of white liberals, and they
Mike
just
Judge
eat it up.
Mike Judge isn't black.
Well, yeah, he's like the only white guy that did it, but
yeah,
nonetheless, the trend remains.
Yeah, and
white people just eat this shit up. These fucking white liberals. Like, you can honestly have such a better relationship with a black person if you just address it honestly instead of this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree.
I just crack open a Colt 45 with my niggas.
Hell yeah, dude. Just drink malt.
I mean, according to Sydney, according to Sydney, I'm more black than some black people, so I don't know.
Yeah, PowderKeg's my black friend. And I just address him on honest terms.
Yeah. With my fucking 85 IQ and my my penchant for receiving blowjobs over coitus.
Well, I don't remember what the song was a long time, but there was like a song by a rapper that was like all about how he likes sex, but he loves getting head. Like that was the whole premise.
Dude, he's speaking to me. That's my people.
Yeah, because you're black. And all the black people loved that song. They thought it was so good.
Nigga, when I feel that nut rise in my sack, she keeps sucking.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that, dude.
There was a scene early in the movie where like they're at a bar together and this white girl is like staring at him, and one of the black guys like, man, these white bitches will just fuck anything.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. Now she's like the only white woman in this fucking bar, and everybody's just giving her shit for being like the white girl who fucks black guys in the bar, which is awesome. It's so fucking fun. But yeah, also in terms of like racially honest movies, and a lot of people are going to call it a racist movie, and they already have. But I watched Dragged Across Concrete this weekend too, and I'm not going to spoil that one because people are going to watch it. But yeah, like the whole movie, they're being pretty honest with shit, and like in goofy ways too. Like there's a scene where Vince Vaughn goes to a jeweler, and the guy's name is like Feinbaum or something, because he's like he's going to propose to his fiance, a jeweler, like somebody who makes jewelry.
Why do you say that so weird?
Oh my god! Every fucking time.
No. This one's fucking Coconut Crew at protonmail.com. Tell me, like, City totally says that word. Say it again.
I talk weird. What do you want me to say? Jewelry.
Yes, like, jewelry. What do you? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're like fucking everybody in this movie correcting the black man for saying shit wrong.
Well, now you're black. You're blacker than now. You're
fucking jewelry. Like that's just how I say the word, dude.
Oh, that jewelry.
That jewelry. But yeah, he's like clearly at a Jewish jewelry shop, and the guy
it sounds like you said Jew, like the Jewry of the world banking system. Is what he sounds like you're saying.
Well, it is a Jew running a jewelry shop.
Well, I mean, so. every time.
This is Hate House now.
Oh god, is that show even still exist? I don't know.
But we're drinking. I'm drinking Steel Reserve. I'm drinking Colt 45. This is Hate House now.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna comment on that show, but yeah, the guy is talking and he's like, my wife's got 2 brothers who are lawyers and 3 sisters who are psychiatrists. Like this guy.
Oh, we don't have drops. Damn it, we don't have the OVA drop.
Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. But yeah, that was honestly a really good movie. Like, I heard some people say that they didn't enjoy it because they thought it was slow, but I thought it fucking owned. The soundtrack was awesome. Just overall, really quality movie. I suggest everybody watch that.
I suggest. Well, never mind.
What the fuck were you gonna suggest, bitch?
I was just gonna poke jab at us and say I suggest Maze Monsters because watch it.
Oh yeah, no, we should watch Mazes and Monsters. We'll talk about that next week. But we gotta eat up like 10 more minutes here, and I don't have anything else.
What was I gonna bring up about faggots? What was I gonna say about faggots earlier?
You're gonna say something about the gays.
Well, I don't remember what it is now.
God damn it, dude! You're ruining the show.
Well, whatever. You can cut this out. You can edit
No, I'm not cutting anything out. I'm not editing anything.
Well,
the listeners are they're going along this journey with us, Keg.
They don't want to. They don't
have a choice. They're getting 2 episodes in like 4 days. So
yeah, what the fuck?
We're running dry.
Greedy shits.
Well, it's because I'm going on a vacation and I feel
surprise,
like this has to be an earlier episode. Well, we released the first episode on like a Monday or Tuesday. So hopefully that'll be the schedule, is to release on Monday or Tuesday.
Nobody wants to hear about this.
All right. Well, then fucking, I don't know. Tell a story. Tell us a story, PowderKeg.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay. All right. I'll tell the, what are we going to call him? We'll call him Gary. Garebear.
Subtle.
So it's now PowderKeg story time. We're gonna have a little intro here. So
no, we're not.
Okay, well, whatever.
Put in wind chimes, if anything.
So years ago, when I used to work private security for college housing, there was a place that was a very notorious, like fucking crazy, insane college housing area, and we'll call it Stallion City. We'll call it Stallion City. Fuck you guys! Shut up. Okay. And this was like a it was notorious. It was infamous. In fact, it was infamous. A place nobody wanted to work because it was just so fucking insane. They're a 4-man team every night just to break up fights, keep people from like breaking shit and stealing cars and setting things on fire. And of course, there was one night where there was a particular building. We'll call it Building 101 because that's what it was. And we heard some shit was going. We got a call, and they said like some shit was going down to get it. So we rush over there, and we get to the 3rd floor, and there is this dude.
I always thought this story happened in a parking lot. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't know it happened indoors.
No, it happened outdoors. It happened outdoors, like on the balcony, like outside.
Okay.
Yeah, because the way the buildings were set up is that they had like a balcony like around them, but they were pretty big balconies. So there was a fight going down in this on this balcony, and there was this dude just getting the shit beat out of him. He was just getting fucked up, dude, and he was like bloody and shit. So we get up there, we start cracking skulls, breaking up the fight, and getting everybody separated. The guy that was getting his ass beat was very flamboyant. And this is where we meet Garebear. This is what he liked to call himself. And so come to find out, Garebear got into some trouble because he was selling prescription drugs, and he ripped somebody off. It is long story short, he ripped somebody off, and his buddies jumped him. So Garebear's pretty.
His friends beat him up. It's not even like strangers that he's old man.
No, the guy that got Shafted's friends beat up Garebear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he also, let me also, like, Garebear wasn't a resident here, so, he really shouldn't have fucking been there. Anyways, so I break things up. Garebear's really bloody. I tell the guy that, is kind of trained in, like, medic shit. I said, go, like, patch him up. And I said, make sure that you wear gloves. And now, when I said this, it was just a simple precaution. If there's somebody bleeding, it's a hazard, and you should be wearing gloves.
No, listen, this is before AIDS.
I'm not that old, Finley. This is not before AIDS.
This was the 60s. Nobody even knew it.
Fuck you guys. You know, it was like a couple of years ago. It was like 5 years ago, maybe. All right. And Garebear, and let me keep in mind, we just fucking saved Garebear's life, maybe. Okay, he was getting beat, and we broke it up. And he gives me sass, and he looks over at me. He's like, "What the fuck do you mean by that?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "What do you mean he should be wearing gloves?" And I was like, "It's just a standard precaution. It's just a standard sanitary precaution." He's like, "Well, I don't know what the fuck you mean by that. What the fuck do you mean by that?" And I was like, I'm not dealing with this right now. It's like, because I can't.
Well, I like how he immediately knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it. He immediately knows what I meant.
So he like already knows.
I didn't even mean that. I didn't mean that. I was just because
probably didn't.
Like, that's what we were trained to do, is like, if blood is involved, wear gloves.
Well, also, like, what does Garebear want this guy rubbing his dirty hands all over his fucking wounds? Like, dude,
I don't know. Like, what
if your buddy had AIDS and he had cuts all over his hands from fucking saving Garebear's life, and he infects Garebear with AIDS while treating his wounds?
I mean, that's possible. No, it's not possible, dude.
It is possible.
This guy that was treating him was like he was a fucking Chad dude. He was like a 60-year-old Taekwondo master with like a big biker mustache. He was too fucking cool for school. He did not have AIDS.
Well, real quick before we continue the story, I'll interject this for dragging out time's sake. But my buddy recently started making more money, and it's related. It ties in. But and so, like, I was joking with him that now he's like totally going to change his politics, that he's making more money and just start like beating up homeless people because he's rich and like thinks so little of that. He's going to go like American Psycho, just start killing hobos. And so we were joking about him like beating up homeless people. And the thing was that, like, he's gonna ask them if they're gay so that he doesn't beat up the gay ones, and everybody's gonna think that it's because he's very forward thinking and very progressive, but actually it's that he doesn't want to get AIDS. Beating up gay people, so he's like saving the gays to save himself.
Dude, there was an episode of 80s Degrassi about that. We'll touch on that someday. But
hell yeah.
100%. So Garebear was getting me sass. I didn't want to deal with it. It was bullshit. So, come to find out what's going on. Find out about the drugs, and it was my call because I was the supervisor at the time. And I said, look, no one's sending you to jail. No one's detaining you. And I said, but you are 86 from the property. You're selling drugs here. I'm not having people sell drugs here. Like, you're going to have to go. And he was like, this is fucking bullshit. This is the bullshit. And I was like, all right, dude. So we had to like physically remove him from
physical removal. Physical removal.
All right, well, let me fucking explain more. The only reason we had to do that is because, like, he got under the skin of like this guy, one of the other guys that was working there who was part of the army, and he was going, Army fucking sucks. Navy forever. Army is full of fucking retards. And then, like, my guy started.
Of course, the guy wants the Navy.
Yeah, I know. So then this guy started. And I was like, no, like, we're getting rid of him now because it was too much bullshit. And, so he leaves. We had to, and I'm going to say right now, it's not like I was trying to sound like having to physically remove somebody. It's like, that's like a last resort. That's not something that you want to do because there's a lot of like liability and like legal shit that could go along with that. But he had
you want it to be amicable.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm usually, believe it or not, like in my professional life, I'm a fairly diplomatic guy. I don't like resorting to physical means.
You don't want to get fired.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get fucking
You
sued.
don't want to get sued. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's more important.
Sometimes you don't want to get fired. You don't want to get sued. You got to snuff a bitch out with a pillow.
You don't want to get AIDS.
Yeah. Hey, you're not going to get AIDS if you just go with the pillow method.
That's true. But
There's a new meaning to a pillow biter there. Got him.
Got her friend. So about a month later, we see the same building, some more shit going on. Same floor. Same fucking floor. Some shit is going down. And we go over there, and sure as shit is Garebear. And I was kind of like, dude, like, what are you doing here? Like, we told you last time, you're out of here. Like, at this point, you can either leave right now or we're gonna have you arrested. And he was like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I was like, come on, man. Like,
I literally saw you. You talked to me.
Yeah, I know. And then like he was trying to play this shit like, like fuck it. And I was like, no. And I was like, you came here like last month, you were selling prescription drugs, and we had to get you out of here. And we told you that you cannot come back here or you will be arrested. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it was like, I don't have prescription drugs. That was my twin brother. And I was like, okay.
The oldest trick in the book.
My evil
twin. To me, and I've heard it was your twin brother. He was like, yeah, it was my twin brother. And I was like, Garebear, come on. Like, I don't want any bullshit. Like, I don't want you to go to jail, dude. Like, let's just fucking be cool about this. And he starts getting sassy. He starts snapping in my face and like, snapping. No, he was like, he was getting so sassy. And he's like, go ahead and fucking take me away. Take me away if you see what fucking happens. And I was like, you know what? Because I don't want to be I don't want to be liable for this. So I said, you know what? All right, I'll call PD and then they can deal with you. And he's like, fine. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fucking shit. So I was like, all right, cool. And so I call PD. They send 2 officers down, a male and a female. And they're kind of coming to the area. And he's like, you really called the fucking cops. And I was like, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you.
I literally just told you
I was going to do this. And he was like, hold the fuck on. I'm going to make a phone call. So he like goes away and he like makes a phone call and he comes back. And
want my phone call.
Yeah. So like we're kind of talking with him. I'm explaining to the PD, like, you know, that he was 86 from the property. Like, you know, he was here previously trying to sell drugs and he was claiming it's not him, it's his twin brother. And while we were explaining this, from across the lot, I fucking told you, motherfucker had a twin. He was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. I was like, there's 2 of them. Holy shit.
And both are gay. What the fuck?
They're both gay, and they're both hanging around the same building. And I apologized to the guy that didn't do it. And I said, look, like, you have to understand, like, this whole, like, my twin did it. Like, I've heard it a million times. And I apologized to him. And he was like, that's not fucking good enough. That's not fucking good enough. And I was like, dude, I don't, like, I'm trying to be the big man here. Like, I apologize. And so,
oh my God,
he started getting a little bit physical. And then the female PD kind of stepped in and she was like, hey, if I see any more of this, like, this is going to escalate into something that you don't want it to escalate into. He slaps the bitch. So now, when I let him off the hook, he's now going to jail because he slapped a police officer.
Wait, Jerry or fuck?
No, the guy that didn't, his twin that didn't do anything.
Okay.
He slaps this bitch. And now they have him like pinned against the police car and they're cuffing him. He's like,
well, now he assaulted a police officer.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, dude, like, I let you go. I told you I was sorry. Like, what the fuck, man?
I also like how the woman police officer's like, oh, I should confront the gay man. I'm confident in this one. Don't worry, Hoss. I got this.
Yeah, so, that's the Garebear story.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude. He actually has a twin that never. Oh my gosh, dude! Oh, I love that story. It's a classic.
Man, I think that was exactly where at exactly 1 hour.
Yeah, we just crossed the 1 hour mark. So, does anybody have any final things that they wanted to say real quick?
Do not funny.
I don't have anything, dude.
Round table, not funny.
Maybe I'll come up with something while you guys go, but I have nothing.
Oh, I got one.
You cut out what? You got one thing?
I got one that's going to step on some toes because especially a lot of people in that kind of like 25-year-old range.
Oh, okay.
SpongeBob, not funny. Was never funny. SpongeBob. Not fucking.
That's gonna piss off more listeners than people.
I don't give a shit, dude. Oh well, that's what I meant. Listeners, SpongeBob not funny.
Yeah, I mean, I was never like a huge fan.
I was a pretty big fan of SpongeBob when I was a kid.
When I was a kid, I watched it and I enjoyed it. I know too many adults who fucking watch children's shows though, and they're like, "Oh, this is still great." And all these fucking sane people, oh, don't watch television shows and movies because it's degenerate and it's fucking shit. Like, how about you let me fucking enjoy one thing you did? That's what I'll say is not funny. These no fun faggots who want to fucking ruin any semblance of enjoyment you can get out of this episode.
Okay.
Or out of fucking anything in this life, not this episode. Like anything that you still like, they're like, oh, it's modern, it sucks, it's shitty, it's gonna ruin your brain. Like, sorry, how about you learn to enjoy something or kill yourself because you're obviously so fucking depressed and like joyless in this life.
I feel like it's a slight jab at
it is. It fucking is.
Because modern things that there's modern things I enjoy.
Okay, well, that it's not as personal as
7-Eleven pizza and...
Okay, well... All right, this is bullshit. Fuck this. At least pick something. I'm not gonna... No, because I gotta defend my... Like, there's fucking, like, new video games, and, like, there's, like, Zoomer shit I get and I sympathize with, and there's some shows I'll watch that... For example, I'm gonna say something like... I'm looking forward to Cobra Kai Season 2 coming up in a week or so.
It's already out, bro.
Oh, shit, is it?
Yeah, I didn't even watch season 1, but I heard it was good.
Oh, yeah, I watched all season 1. It was great.
Oh, I didn't even anticipate to go off like that, but you know what? That was mine and PowderKeg. So, Finley, what do you got?
All right, Finley.
Oh, I don't know if I have anything. On the note of, like, SpongeBob, I watched some video essay recently where they said, like, this guy was retarded. He was talking about how, like, SpongeBob invented meme culture.
No.
And, you know I'm the meme master. And I was like, watching this. Yeah. I was like, watch this. It's so retarded. They're like, he's like, look how in this episode, the guy who's screaming about chocolate comes back later. And that's what memes are. Is it something that repeats itself again and again? So that's a meme.
It's just a callback.
No, it's a meme, bro.
That's like literally like writing 101. Like that's
comedians have been doing the callback since forever.
I know, that's what I was
fucking. Oh god,
get a retard.
Whoever that guy is, whoever made that not funny. That's your not funny.
Dude, that video had like a few million views.
Fucking
A
faggot.
few million views. Oh my god! I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, people have made funny stuff out of the SpongeBob stuff, like all the stuff Garden always posts, but like fucking Mr. Krabs, fucking, like SpongeBob jerking off, like that shit's. Well, that's funny. It's weird.
That's different.
It's funny. It's not actually SpongeBob.
Well, that's kind of ironic. That's like Poop to Griffin type shit.
Yeah, that's true. Like Family Guy is not funny, but we made funny Family Guy jokes.
That is true.
Yeah.
Just caught on, and I just ruined it because now people know that we did that.
Yeah.
It was Joe the Boomer.
Joe the Boomer.
We didn't actually do it. It was Joe the Boomer.
Yeah, it was Joe the Boomer. All right.
Yeah, Beardson, if you ever hear this, dude, it was Joe the Boomer. We did not do that.
Yeah.
But all right.
Sick bastard.
You sick bastard, Joe. Joe the Groomer.
Ooh.
He calls it, it's a joke that he does
Joe
himself,
the Coomer. Joe the Coomer. He coons everywhere.
Joe
got his ass. Joe the Pooper. Yeah, well, he's always pimping Squatty Potty, so, you know, you're not entirely wrong. But I would say the bidet is equally as necessary as Squatty Potty. You know, I'll shout out the bidet. Amazon, $40 for a bidet. Treat yourself, my dudes.
Days are good, but in the
yourself.
meantime, if you can't get one, I don't have what it'll be at. Some baby wipes, you know, like a baby wipe is a good accessory in the bathroom. So
yeah, it's a decent substitute. All right. Well, now that we've
talked about cleaning your poopy butthole.
Oh
yeah,
poopy.
Poopy butthole. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess that's where we ended. We went a little bit over an hour. So this was the episode to make up for last week being late and me going out of town. So we will be back a week from now. So we'll talk to you then.